Let me start the live feed. All right then, good morning everyone. Today is January 6th, 2021. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in Albany and also remotely. We have in attendance Chairman Bradley in the Albany office, Commissioner Ford and Commissioner Fan attending by video. Staff in attendance, we have General Counsel Meyerhoff by video. We have Deputy Commissioner of Licensing Roberts in the Albany office, and also myself, Secretary Donahue, in the Albany office. The next meetings of the authority are January 20th, February 3rd, February 17th. Those are all Wednesdays. Chairman, do you have anything else you want to mention before we get going?
I do not.
All right, we are going to call items in the order they are listed on the calendar in numerical order. The first item for 2021 is number 1. It's a conditional no contest offer of $1,500.
$1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford.
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
All right. Item number 2 was held over from the last meeting. It's L&H Wine and Liquor 88. This application has been withdrawn. Number 3, Pates and Traditions LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional contest
Tom,
offer.
can we go back? Tom, can we go back to that for a second?
To the which one?
The one that was withdrawn.
Yep.
So I mean, I just want to make it clear now, if the other 2 commissioners disagree with me, then they should speak up. But the reason this was on our calendar last board meeting, we all requested financial information because, to be honest with you, the financial arrangement that was set up in this application smelled. And as a result of that, we requested more information. This application is now withdrawn because it's obvious to me that what we saw as a problem was clearly a problem. And the information that we requested was simple banking information. And now the applicant has withdrawn that information. So going forward, I'm not requesting more information. I'm denying. Because this type of application just isn't acceptable. Go ahead.
Yes. He also said he was a chef in South Carolina, but a resident of Elmhurst. So none of that added up.
Yes, I agree with Chairman. I can't hear anything.
We hear you.
Gary, I lost your phone feed. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I fixed my problem on my video. Thank you.
Okay.
Please.
All right then. The next item is number 3, Pates and Traditions LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional no contest offer.
Accept.
Commissioner Ford.
I went down to 1,000, no history.
Bradley.
1,000.
I'll accept 1,000 as well, Tom.
Okay. Next item is 0469 Bar and Restaurant, El Salvadorian Corp. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
I was going to go down to 12,500.
Commissioner Ford.
I'll do 12,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,250.
Next item is 05. It's 194 Bedford Ave, Rest Corp. It's a default.
Is this going back to council's office? It looks like it was returned.
I don't have a note of that.
No, the mailing was returned.
Yeah, no, the circumstances are, as is sometimes the case, our registered mail doesn't get to the licensee, but the other two mailings did not come back. The mailing to the home of the license, the mails to the home of the licensee and of the landlord. So it's deemed served, and it's a default. It's a mask, no mask issue on an executive order.
All right. I'm at 1500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm at 1500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
Next item is 06. Astoria 30 Wine and Liquor Inc. It's a new package store application.
So this is a store with 2 employees. The principal will manage. It's 1,400 square feet, 850 square foot of that will be retail. There are 2 protests. The principal has no experience and has been unemployed according to his application since October of 2018. There are 6 stores within 0.6 miles. The closest store is 0.2 miles away. And there is, I think, a question of whether this entrance is at street level. Is that accurate? Tom or Gary?
Yeah, there's a picture that was supplied, I guess, by a protester that showed the entrance elevated above street level. I'm not sure if that, I don't think that issue was flagged by the initial application review. But it did look to me, if that was indeed a picture that was above street level, that might be an issue. That said, maybe rather than seeking to confirm that now, if the application would otherwise be approved, we certainly should do that. If the application would otherwise not be approved, I don't know that it's necessary to track that down.
Okay, and also I believe that we have approved one of the closest stores on April of this year, Adam?
Correct.
April of last year, I'm sorry, April of 2020. Okay, that's it.
Is Mr. Lin asking for a declaratory ruling within this overall objection to this application about another store?
I didn't see that.
Let me see if I can find it. Liquor stores. Where did I see that? I read that somewhere here. It says here, yeah, on page 23. If this requires a declaratory ruling, I'd like this matter to be placed on the full board calendar for determination. I don't know if it's just muddying the waters or wasn't sure how to read this.
I'm looking for it right now.
It's a letter dated June 9th.
Yeah, I think he's just raising the same issue that we just flagged, but hold on. What page did you say that was? I'm sorry.
Page 23.
23.
23, yeah.
The June 9th letter from Mr. Lin is requesting guidance on the issue of the street level. But he's not making clear that, you know, he's actually requesting, he's indicating if it requires a declaratory ruling.
Yeah, I guess the point that it is the same issue that I already flagged. We could, in theory, adjourn and confirm the evidence that we have from the location.
Yeah, commissioners, I'm going to propose that we hold this over so we can do some extra work into looking into the street level concerns, and B, as well as some of the financing for this project. So I'm going to ask that we hold this issue over, this item over.
1:20, Adam? Is that sufficient time?
It is.
Commissioner Ford, you good with that?
To 120, yes.
Bradley, you good with that?
Yes.
All right, then. The next item is 07. It's Bruce and ARMANI Gourmet. This is a new on-premises liquor license application.
So this is a restaurant with 3 employees, a hired manager, jukebox and recorded music, no dancing. 10 tables inside with 33 seats, 1 bar with 8 seats. It's a mixed-use residential commercial building. The applicant's prior license, grocery store license, beer wine product was canceled for cause on March of 2017 as a result of adverse history. And the applicant appears to have been a manager at the prior premises at this location for about 7 years based on his employment history. And this location does not appear to have had adverse history with us. The hours in the application appear to conflict. One part of it says 3 to 11, Monday through Sunday, and another part of the application says 8 to 12, Sunday through Thursday, and 8 to 3 a.m. Friday and Saturday. And that's it.
Commissioner Fan?
Yeah, I have a lot of discomfort with this application. There's a promissory note for essentially the full amount. Well, not the full amount, but 80% of the amount spent from the seller. And can someone clarify for me if this is legit right now, that there's a picture of all this alcohol in the restaurant because they're buying an existing?
Yeah, let me double check. I believe they were operating on a temporary, so that would be okay.
Okay.
I'd also note that the entity that owned the entity that was on his AX license that was canceled was El Castillo Bar, and the seller is El Castillo Bar, which means there's a prior connection between the two. I don't know if that matters, but
Yeah, it's some sort of self-dealing happening here.
a little suspicious.
Yeah, and as Chairman pointed out, the hours suggest that they don't really know what method of operation they're really planning. It looks like there's one side of them that's presenting a restaurant, and then there's another side that's presenting a nightclub place. And so with that, I'm really not ready to support this. I'm going to vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford?
Yeah, I'm looking for a reason to say yes, but I can't find one. So I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley?
I'm going to vote to deny. The applicant has a significant adverse history, including gambling, consumption on premises, as well as various other availing, as well as various other ABC law violations. And it's clear, as Commissioner Fan pointed out, that I'm not convinced that he actually knows what he wants this to be right now. So I'm not going to approve an amorphous method of operation. So I vote to deny.
All right, the next item is 08. It's Juice Some Jazz Lounge, Inc. This is a new on-premises liquor license application.
This is a bar tavern which is on a temporary permit currently. They have recorded DJ, jukebox, and live music, a hired manager, 15 employees, 4 security guards. The max occupancy is 200. There's a letter from the mayor supporting this application. in spite of the fact that the principal's license was previous license, not at this location, but at another location, was revoked by us for focal point for police attention in December of 2016, among other charges. And there's also been a cancellation at this premise previously.
Under another application, another app licensee though, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But that, and just to be clear, there was a cancellation, but the adverse history for that licensee was not that significant. It looks like it was more of a, rather than pay the fine, they walked away.
Yep.
Commissioner Fan, are you ready to vote?
Based on the application presented, I don't see a mention of her history as another licensee holder. Is that accurate or is that wrong?
Let me just confirm on the personal questionnaire.
No, I don't know.
And I'm concerned, again, is there's an investment of $10,000, all of which is deferred.
If you look on page, she did disclose her adverse history, I believe, because it's on number 5 in the application. So I think that's page 2 of what we look at,
I see.
or page 1.
She just
I don't
didn't
know.
put it as her employment history, but she did.
But she indicated, right, she had previous license history.
Yeah, her personal care and disclosures on page 23. She disclosed that she had a suspended and revoked license.
I guess the consideration here is whether we're going to give her a second chance or not, right? I mean, she's operating under a temp.
Yeah, that she is under a temp, and there's no indication that we've had a problem yet, but we are in a different environment.
She does have a mode of operation that sounds like a more nightclub style location than a restaurant style location. DJ live music.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm sorry. I'm going to vote to deny. Unless there's more information, I can't.
All right, Commissioner Ford, your vote, please.
This location is on the west side of town over by the fairgrounds. Having a little bit of a revitalization to that area. And aside from her history, based on the letter of support from Mayor Walsh, if he's willing to support her, I'm willing to give her a second chance. I would vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley.
So I'm of the same opinion that Commissioner Ford is, and I understand, I kind of have the same trepidation that Commissioner Fan has, but if this mayor is putting his neck out there supporting this applicant and asking for a second chance, it's something he may regret in the future. He knows his area better than I do, so I'm not going to stand in the way, so I'll vote to approve as well.
Right, the next item is 09, Spirits of Flatbush, Inc. This is a reconsideration of a disapproval of a package store application.
I don't see any new information. I'm voting to deny reconsideration.
Commissioner Ford,
I don't see a need either. 4 stores with it 0.8 of a mile, 2 stores new in the past 3 years. So I vote to deny recon.
Chairman Bradley.
Yeah, I don't see any new information either. The sales of the closest stores are stagnant. There's 4 within 0.8 miles with decreasing sales. And I didn't see, other than that, I didn't see any new information presented, so I vote to deny.
Next item is,
Hold on, Tom, just for the record, there was, I just want the members to make it clear on the record, there was a letter that was added that we had not seen previously, and I just wanted to clarify with the board that what they meant by no information was that they didn't think that the new letter provided any new information to them, but that they had indeed seen the letter.
That's right.
Thank you.
all right, the next item is number 10.
That's correct for me as well.
Next item is 10 is Wine O'Clock LLC. This is another reconsideration of a package store disapproval.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right, number 10, Wine O'Clock LLC, recon of a package store disapproval. Commissioner Fan,
I do not vote to reconsider.
Commissioner Ford,
I originally voted to approve, so I would vote to reconsider and approve again.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to reconsider as well, because I do see that there is new information here. That one of the reasons I did not vote for it was that the owner, in my mind, had no experience, and it's clear now that they have indicated to us that they do have experience in the manufacturing industry, although not in this country. And they have also indicated that they're going to devote 25% of their shelf space to Asian wine and liquor. So I'm going to vote to reconsider.
All right, then. So then we have 2 votes to reconsider. Commissioner Ford, you're already voting to approve the application. Commissioner Fan,
I'll vote to approve.
Chairman Bradley.
I will vote to approve as well. I think that we got very little response from the closest stores, meaning sales numbers. And in my mind, that means that the sales numbers that we would get are consistent with the ones that we did get. And the 4th closest, which is really the only one we did get sales numbers from, showed a significant increase in sales over 3 years. The applicant does have experience in the industry and has indicated that they're going to provide education on wine, Asian drinks and wines, bringing in a mixologist who happens to be her son that will show the customers how to create cocktails using that type of alcohol. So I'll vote to approve.
The next item I have is 11, which is 2020 Nightclub LLC, to reconsideration of a disapproval of a cabaret liquor license. I received an email on Monday. The applicant is requesting the matter be held over, stating they're still in discussions with community constituents about proposed changes to the method of operation and community services. I'm not sure exactly what that is in reference to. And they want time to be able to come back at the next meeting with changes to the method of operation for you to consider.
Tom, let's go to 2-3.
Commissioner Ford,
2-3.
February 3rd, sorry.
Okay.
Chairman Bradley, you're good to have it held over?
Yes.
All right, then next item is 12. M&H number 2 Deli and Grocery Corp. This is a reconsideration of a grocery store beer license.
let me just state, can I just say for the record that we have a letter in this reconsideration request that appears to be written by a representative, but the letter discusses the licensee in the first person as if it's confusing. The letter is confusing on its face as to whether it is coming from a representative or from the licensee. At times it seems like it's one, the other, or both. So just to put that on the record, and then the question is whether or not for the board it raises something that would cause them to want to reconsider their prior disapproval.
All right, then with respect to the reconsideration request, Commissioner Fan,
I will vote to deny reconsideration.
Commissioner Ford,
Deny.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm going to vote to deny as well.
Next item is number 13, 980 PEEKSKILL LLC. This is another request for reconsideration of a disapproval of a grocery store beer and wine products license. Commissioner Fan on the request for reconsideration.
I'm going to vote to deny reconsideration.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm voting to deny reconsideration.
Thank you. Commissioner Ford,
Based on letters of support from Yorktown Supervisor and Councilman, I would vote to vote for reconsideration.
Chairman Bradley.
What did Ford do?
We have one vote to grant reconsideration, one to deny.
Okay. I mean, I recognize the support from the supervisor, but the applicant availed the licenses of his brother on two separate occasions. I just don't have any faith that he's going to follow the ABC law, so I vote to deny.
Right, then the next item is 14. NASSR, ESSA, and FAHMI Kaid. It's a default on a pleading.
Can I consider this a second sale to minor? Is that what this is?
No, it actually isn't. For some reason, the agency does not appear to have received the evidence to support the sale to minor charge, so we did not charge a sale to minor case, but the licensee was arrested and did not notify us of that, which is a change in fact violation.
Okay.
And then didn't respond to the notice of pleading that charged him with that.
So I'm at 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I was more like 500 to 750.
Really?
is there one in particular, one number in there particular?
Let's go with 750.
Chairman Bradley,
7/15/20.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you, Chairman Bradley.
I'm just trying to figure out what the difference on this is.
1625.
25?
1625 if you want to split the difference.
All
Make
right,
it
that's
1,500. Just call it even 1,500.
all right, 1,500.
Fair enough. 1,500.
Next item is 15, Wild Onion NYC Inc. It's a default on a notice of pleading.
This is oh wait. It's not a default. Oh wait, sorry.
I'm sorry, yes, it's a
Yeah,
default.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm at 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
2,500.
Chairman Bradley.
2,500.
Next item is 16, Dark Horse MP Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley,
Accept.
Next items, 17 and 18. KMCMK LLC, the $4,500 conditional offer.
I accept 4,500.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 19. J&J Liquors and Wines, Inc. It's a reconsideration of a package store disapproval. Commissioner Fan on the reconsideration.
I vote to deny reconsideration.
Commissioner Ford,
I vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I vote to deny as well.
Next item is 20. South Shore Wines LLC. It's a new wine store application.
The principal will manage with no employees. It's not bulletproof. It's 546 square feet retail space, which appears to be the whole store. And there are no protests. The closest store is 4.1 miles away. There are 4 stores within 7.1 miles.
And the closest store within 4.1 miles is up in the village of excuse me, up in the village of Sylvan Beach. Whole nother thoroughfare and community. And I'm surprised that there isn't a place at this location anyway. So I would absolutely vote to approve.
All right, Commissioner Ford, Commissioner Fan,
Okay, no protest, not bulletproof, small store, 4 miles away with the next closest store. I will vote to approve as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I vote to approve as well. I think just the distance between stores makes it convenient to the public.
Next item is 21, Limelight Lounge and Restaurant, Inc. This is a reconsideration of a disapproval of an on-premises liquor license. Commissioner Fan on the reconsideration.
Yes, I'll vote to reconsider.
Commissioner Ford,
Excuse me, it seems to have cured the objections, so I'll vote to reconsider as well.
Chairman Bradley.
Where are the other 2 votes?
We have 2 votes to reconsider, so we're going to be moving on to the application no matter how you vote.
Okay, I'm voting not to reconsider.
All right,
Because I still have major issues with the adverse history and some of the stuff that was left off the application. But go ahead.
All right, then on the application itself, Commissioner Fan.
Sorry, Chairman. Then can we talk about the concerns you have still?
Yeah, I mean, it's what I talked about before. We have, the lenders are not, the landlord is not the lender anymore, yet we have bank statements from Mr. Brown that are from July of 2020. And it shows no source of the $30,000 he says he has invested in this place. There's just $30,000 in the bank account and no transaction, or very little transactions. Is it Miss Brown or Mr. Brown?
Mr.
And then the extensive adverse history with the last 2 licensees and the method of operation is almost identical to those last 2 licensees. So I still have concerns that the former licensee is going to be involved. So.
All right, so with that, Commissioner Fan on the application.
And I've talked to Adam about this outside the hearings, and we're obviously getting a lot of applications that I have, and some of you have also raised questions regarding where this money is coming from. And it's not our job to go chase them down for this information, in my view. And we don't have the resources to do it, nor the time to do it. So if it's not there, I'm assuming it's not adequate.
Okay.
right then, Commissioner Fan,
I think I've got to agree with the chairman. I'm going to vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford,
I have to agree with the chairman too. I vote to deny as well.
Chairman Bradley.
Yeah, I'm voting to deny for the same reasons I said before.
All right, the next items, 22 and 24. U.S. Sandwich, Inc. It's a no contest plea to 2 proceedings.
With the cigarette suspension and a second sell to minor, I'm at 10,000.
Commissioner Ford,
That's exactly where I was, 10,000.
Chairman Bradley,
10,000.
next item is 23. 20X Hospitality LLC to request for reconsideration of a license that was summarily suspended. The licensee accepted the board's counteroffer of $10,000 at 11 p.m. closing and no music. The licensee is now asking to have the music restriction removed.
What were their allowable music?
Give me a second, I can go back and look.
No music.
I know, but are we going back to like DJ live music or are we going back to background music?
Background.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
As approved, the old application said recorded music, that was it. That's all they're approved for.
Okay, so we're going back to recorded music only?
That's what they're asking for, yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm all right with that as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I'm okay with it as well too, but they should be, I hope they're listening because they should be on notice. One of these charges were for somebody dancing at the premise, and if that happens again, after we just did this, there's gonna be a problem.
All right, the next item is 25, Wheeler and Wheeler. It's a no contest default.
I'm at 7,500.
Commissioner Ford,
7,500.
Chairman Bradley.
Do we have information that, I have information in the submission that the place is closed. Is that permanent or we don't know?
We only know that from the landlord, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if that's accurate, so I think it's better to assess the fine that you assess, and if they actually have disappeared, they'll probably default and the alternative penalty will come in.
All right, 7,500.
Next item is 26, Master Grill and Global Buffet, Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 27, VIVA RD Corp. It's a default.
I'm at 5,000.
The license had expired back in May. It hasn't been renewed.
Oh, cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
Next item is 28, Summer Fling Restaurant LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
Oh, yikes. 1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item, Iris ITAL Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley. It's a $7,000 conditional offer.
I accept the 7,000.
Commissioner Ford,
1,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
This, in my mind, should be 10, but I'll take the 7.
Next item is 31, Estrella Bronx Restaurant, Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
32, Burger Bar Enterprises, Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 33, TC Junior, Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
They've been licensed since 1986. This is for 4 kitchen staff, no mask. I will propose we go down to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
34 years, no violations. I was going to go down to 500.
Okay.
you're right with 500, Commissioner Fan? Okay. Chairman Bradley.
500.
Next item is 34, 1647 Second Ave Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
Accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500. They were both at 15?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take 15.
Next item is 35, Carabbean LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
Next item is 36, Butter Cookie Bistro Corp. It's a request to extend the conditional approval deadline.
They asked for extension until March, but I'm actually going to go to July 1, 2021 and final extension.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll go with July 2021 final extension as well.
Chairman Bradley.
I will do the same.
Next item or items 37, 38, 3928 Merrick Bar Inc. It's a $4,000 conditional offer. Commissioner Fan,
This location has been licensed since 1981. With no history since 2010. I'm going to go down to 2,500.
Commissioner Ford,
Is indoor dining allowed at this location? In the first place?
Yeah, it was allowed at that time. There are 2 events, one on August 14th, multiple people standing and congregating outside, and then people standing and drinking inside.
Yeah.
So
yeah, okay.
not a seated restaurant service. And then a week later, essentially the same violations found, although my guess is if there was a larger volume, it would have been a suspension case, but there was a
Okay.
relatively low number of people.
All right. I'll go with 2,500 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
2,500. History.
Next item is 39, JW Cafe and Bar Inc. It's a $10,000 conditional offer.
I think this looks high. I will go down to 5,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll go down to 5,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
5,000.
Next item is 40, 1761 Fonda Mexico Magico LLC. It's a $5,000 conditional offer.
I thought this looked high.
I did too.
For the record, it was inside service in New York City before inside service at 25% was permitted. That was the basic.
I thought inside service was permitted on September 14. No?
I think it was announced then, but it didn't start until after that. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Can we just put that aside? Can I just look?
All right, so we're going to put item 40 aside for the time being. The next items 41 and 42. AYS Noodle Company LLC. It's a $3,500 conditional offer.
This number should be higher, but the licensee wrote a very thorough letter explaining how they're going to improve their establishment and be in compliance now. So with that, I'm going to accept it.
I'm sorry, the very end got garbled a little bit, Commissioner Fan. What's the penalty? 3,500. Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 3,500 too.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept 3,500.
Next items.
Tom, if you want,
Yes.
if you want to back up, the governor announced inside service beginning September 30th, earlier in the month. I believe on September 9th was the first announcement, but the inside service resumed on September 30th.
Okay. This was right before then.
All right, so let's, just for the record, let's go back to item 40.
Up to 5,000.
Commissioner Ford,
5,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Was Commissioner Fan, did you accept Commissioner Fan?
Yes.
Yes, I'll accept as well.
All right, now we're back to items 43 and 44. 547 Lennox Barbecue Rest Corp. This is a request for reconsideration.
Explain the note to me on the bottom.
Yeah, that's my note. I think, so when this was before you, it was presented to you as it did not have a public assembly permit, but the charge that was against the licensee was not the failure to have the permit. It was just over occupancy. So their request, the request for reconsideration is trying to eliminate the need for them to submit the public assembly permit because they don't need it. And if you go back and look at the application, they don't need it because they're under 75.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with Tom. I think there was some reference in the record that was mistaken that triggered us to believe that they needed the permit. And we've now confirmed they don't need the permit based on their representations. So the condition is really not necessary. And that's a fair request for reconsideration.
So essentially, what's before you is, are you willing to then modify the counteroffer to eliminate the need for them to submit the public assembly permit?
Okay, thanks.
Commissioner Fan?
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Actually, doesn't need to be a modified counteroffer. They can just accept the CNC, I believe, Tom. The CNC.
That's true, yes. Yeah, we can just accept the conditional offer. Yeah, there's conditional offer. Commissioner Ford?
I can accept, no PA permit needed.
Chairman Bradley?
I'll accept the 7,500.
The next item is 45 and 46, Green 84 LLC. This is a request for reconsideration of a license that's been summarily suspended. Chairman, you're recused from this matter.
Yeah, for the record, this is a case where the board suspended the license for conduct on multiple dates. The CNC offer was $30,000 and the board countered at cancel and bond. The licensee asked for reconsideration and is now offering $50,000 and sent in some letters, sent in a letter of support, I believe.
The problem is warnings were given. I mean, I understand the family tragedy, but after that, April 28th, May 6th, May 16th, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, May 29th, June 19th, June 20th, July 18th, July 21st, July 23rd. Warnings, all of those days, leading up to a summer suspension in October. So I'm just not quite sure that the message has been gotten. I don't know.
I would agree with you. I'm really not sure if them telling us that an existing licensee is now going to be operating in the place supposedly better than someone, the other son who apparently was not on the license, and they're blaming everything on him. Not really sure if I buy that. So,
You know, could we entertain kicking this back to council and discussing this with this licensee to see if they can come up with anything better than this? Something else for us to consider? Because I'm either at that or canceling bond.
Well, as far as it going back to council, it will go back to council if you give, right now your counter offer is cancel and bond. And they're asking for a reconsideration of that. And I mean, if what you're saying is that you think there's a chance that you would entertain a cash fine and a return of the license if they did something more, I suppose you could invite that and we could adjourn the case until the next meeting to see if they can give you what you're looking for. But there's no reason, I mean, it is essentially going to be returned to council's office or they'll accept the cancellation. So there's not much we're going to be able to do with it in council's office.
Okay.
To advance the ball.
All right. Well, then I'm at canceling bond.
So you're doing rejecting the reconsideration request.
Yes.
Commissioner Fan,
I'm at denying reconsideration.
Chairman Bradley.
He's recused.
He's recused.
Oh, I'm sorry. And Adam, can you just maybe pan out the camera a little bit because we've up there. He's back. All right, then the next item is 47, Tulsi Foods Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer, and council's office requesting that charge number 2 be withdrawn.
I will accept 15 and dismiss number 2.
Commissioner Ford.
Dismiss charge 2 and accept 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
Withdraw charge 2 and accept 1,500.
Next item is 48, Dusk Till Dawn Bar and Lounge Inc. It's a default, and this license expired on October 31st.
Looks like canceling bond.
Cancel.
Chairman Bradley.
I didn't hear what they voted.
Yeah, cancel and bond claim.
Cancel and bond.
Next item is 49, Panique Homemade Colombian Food, Inc. This is a request to extend the deadline for the conditional approval.
Wait, I'm sorry, I don't have this one. Sorry, Tom, I don't know why I don't have this one. Come back to 49, please. Sorry.
I want to hold it over for a second.
Yeah, let me go look at it.
Sure thing. The next item is 50. Changing Times American Sports Bar and Grill Corp. This is default on a pleading.
I'm at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm at 2,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
Next item is 51. RDR Bar and Restaurant Corp. This is another default on a pleading.
I'm at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
Next item is 52. Jizz Biz Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I'll accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman
Tom,
Bradley. Yes. All right. Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
All right. What was it, Commissioner Fan?
sorry, I apologize. We can go back to 49.
Okay. 49 is a request to extend the deadline for conditional approval.
For an additional 180 days, I will go to June 12, 2021, final extension.
Commissioner Ford,
Agreed.
Chairman Bradley.
June 12th, 2021. Final.
The next item, 53, VPJ Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional no contest offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 54, La Negra Restaurant Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is one employee. I would be willing to go down to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
1,000.
Chairman Bradley.
1,000.
Next item is 55, Delicious Restaurant Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is quite a few different things going on, so I'm going to accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 56, Philomena Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 57, AFP 101 Corp, HR 20 Corp, and Eastside Corp. It's a $4,000 conditional offer.
This was a wedding event with 80 people.
Yeah, the other charges were people at the wedding were not surprisingly standing and drinking and were also dancing, and there were employees with no mask.
A counter at 8,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll counter 8 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
8,000 counter.
And next item, 58, Schnon Ltd. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
Um, 2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
59, 432 Tavern Corp. It's a default on a pleading.
It also appears the license was surrendered. I have a note that it was surrendered on November 13th.
Cancel bond.
I can check that. Let me just. Yeah,
It's also a third sale to minor in 5 years, but
it was placed in safekeeping in September and then surrendered in November. I'm sorry, Commissioner Fan,
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
Next item is 60. CNC 4299 Katona Inc. $2,000 civil penalty offer.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
Next item is 61, Lionheart 3G LLC. It's a $1,500 offer.
I will accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 62, Red Cap Sales Inc. It's a $10,000 conditional offer.
For third sale to minor, 10,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
10,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 63, Curious Cafe Inc. It's a $2,000 offer.
This is a yellow zone violation. They've been in license since 1997. I propose we go down to 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
Next item is 64, Peter and John Peckney. It's a $2,500 conditional offer.
Given them 4-letter handwritten, but thorough from the licensee, and licensed since 1984 with no adverse history, I'd be willing to go down to 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 1,500 as well for the same reasons.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll go down to the 15.
Next item is 65, Locksmith Wine Bar Inc. This is a default.
2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
Next item is 66, 21415/17 41st Ave Corp. It's a default.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
Next item is 67, Gabali Corp. This is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 68, Tubster Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 69, JRNE Corp. This is a default at pleading.
I'm at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
Next item is 70, Integrity Industries Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is expired.
It's a summer license.
So they would not
Okay.
would have to renew yet.
Okay, so I will accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
So,
Next item is 71. Yes,
Can I request a 5-minute break from the team?
sure thing. Just ask everybody to mute your lines.
Yo,
All right. Just let me know when everybody's ready to get going. And
I'm good.
I think we lost Deputy Commissioner Roberts there for a second. All right, then we'll get back going again. The next items on the calendar are 71 and 72. Bar Great Harry LLC. This is a conditional no contest offer of $4,500, background music only, and 10 other conditions, which for the most part appear to be things that they have to do anyway.
And actually should have been doing before.
Yeah, the charges concern basically an outdoor bar type service in front of the location and not offering food on the second one, all within 1 week. But it was not a suspension case.
According to the approved method of operation, the music is, it just says CDs. So I guess that counts as a recorded background music.
Well, they should have thought about the end of the CD when they asked for that.
Yeah, that's true too. If they can't get any more CDs, they're kind of out of luck, I guess.
Yeah, when you go there, they only play music from the 80s and 90s.
We didn't have CDs in the 80s. Anyway, Commissioner Fan. I'm sorry, you're muted, Commissioner Fan. I didn't get you.
Sorry, I would,
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Except,
Next item, 73, Flat Top Enterprises, Inc. It's a $3,000 conditional offer.
I will accept.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
except,
Next item, 74, Huff and Puff, Inc. This is a default after pleading.
I'm at 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
Next item is 75, City Deli Grocery, Inc. This is another default on the sale to minor.
I'm at 6,000.
Commissioner Ford,
6,000 on the nose.
Chairman Bradley.
6,000.
Next item is 76, Rico Polo No. 3 Restaurant Corp. This is a request to extend the deadline for the conditional approval.
6/17/2021, final extension.
Commissioner Ford,
6/17/21.
Chairman Bradley.
6/17/2021.
Next item is 77, Bay Parkway Deli Grocery Corp. This is a no contest plea to 2 cigarette suspension charges.
I'm at cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
Next item is 78, Dykeman Billiards Cafe, Inc. This is another default.
I'm at 15,000.
15,000. Commissioner Ford,
I was at canceling bond, but I'll go to 15,000.
Chairman Bradley.
15.
Next item is 79, Tompad LLC. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Or it's
That
2,000.
was,
Sorry,
it was, the offer was
sorry.
2.
Well, wait, let me, hold on a second.
We're on 79.
This was one employee with no mask, so I'm proposing 1,500.
Okay. Commissioner Ford,
Yep, that's why I am to 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
Next item is
I was just gonna say,
80.
that's fine. I was just gonna say that's fine. The reason it was at 2,000 was just because it had adverse history, but it's minor adverse history. So anyway.
Next item is 80, Bertano Enterprises, Inc. This is a $6,000 conditional offer.
Um, 6,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
6,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
6,000 accept.
Next item is 81, JPG LLC. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000.
Chairman Bradley.
2,000.
Next item is 82, Garlic NY Pizza Bar Company Ltd. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 83, Princess Shortcakes Catering, Inc. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
Uh, 2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
I'd go down to 1,500.
I'll go to 1,500.
Chairman Bradley.
1,500.
Next item is 84, Babylon Burger Bar Enterprises, Inc. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
2,000 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 85, Steuben County Veterans Memorial, Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1946. This
Yeah,
might be
it was-
one of those.
I was gonna go to 500.
I'm at letter warning.
That's fine too.
Chairman Bradley.
Letter warning.
Next item is 86, Corner Bar and Grill of Kingston LLC. It's a $500 conditional offer.
Chairman, you know anything about this place? I'm gonna counter at 1,500.
I don't. I know where it is. That's about it.
Commissioner Ford,
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna counter because our letter to them said 500.
So 500 is it.
Is that right, Gary? Why did they do that?
Looking.
the pleading did say $500.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
Okay. All right. Glad I saw that. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
So you're accepting the 500.
Yes, I will, please. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford,
500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
87, Enright's Thirst Parlor LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1977, I will go to 500.
Commissioner Ford,
I go to 500 as well.
Chairman Bradley,
What number are we on?
87.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, 500.
next item is 88, Peter A. Beatty. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 89, DEJA Boo Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I will go down to 750.
Commissioner Ford,
That's where I was, 750.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Item 90, Penny Leahy Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 91, Sophia Fabulous Pizza Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is one employee with no mask. They've been licensed since 1996 with very limited adverse history. I propose we go down to 750.
Commissioner Ford,
That's exactly what I had, 750.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item is 92, Dell Associates Inc. It's a $10,000 conditional offer.
Liquor store, third sale to minor. I'll accept 10,000, but I would say that they are close to the end here.
Commissioner Ford,
Same here.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept as well for this and agree with Commissioner Fan. It's near the end.
Next item is 93, Dirksen and Talleyrand Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I will go down to 750 based on their license issued in 1976 with no adverse history.
Commissioner Ford,
750, same reasons.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item is 94, Nautilus Cafe Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
License since 1988 with no adverse history. I propose we go down to 750.
Commissioner Ford,
Same here, 750.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item is 95, 3274 Irish Pub Company Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 96, Loop Grill Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1983 license and with no adverse history, I will go down to 750.
750.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item is 97, Gotang LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 98, RJ Skillman Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 99, Breza Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
License since 1996 with no adverse history since 2012. I propose we go to 750.
Commissioner Ford,
750.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item is 100, Bullpen Enterprises Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
License since 1996, no adverse history since 2006. I propose we go to 750.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 750 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item is 101, 179 Restaurant and Pools Corp. It's a defaulted pleading.
So this is the one that's since been suspended?
Yeah, that's right. There was a suspension on December 30th at this location, but this conduct predates the conduct for that suspension, so that case will be handled subsequently. So I believe the members should treat this as it would treat a case that was a default and just make a discipline decision.
But how it would work is that this penalty will be deferred, but the next one for the suspension they will have to pay that?
That's correct.
Correct. I mean, if they had made an offer to settle this case, we would probably want to group them together. But
Exactly. But because it's a default, you want to set the penalty.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I will set this penalty at 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
I was at 1,500 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
100.
Next item is 102 Manhattan NUEVO LLC. This is an offer of cancellation and bond claim. The license has been in safekeeping since August.
I'll accept cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford,
Cancel and bond.
Chairman Bradley.
Cancel and bond.
Next item 103 MTK Lobster House LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item 104 Red Lobster Hospitality LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
I will accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item 105 Vespa Italian Shop House LLC. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item 106 Flo's Luncheonette Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept.
107 Division Street Hotel Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
This is a hotel license issued in 1972 with no adverse history. I propose we go down to 750.
Commissioner Ford,
That's what I had too, 750.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item 108 333 Bayville Avenue Rest Corp. It's a $2,000 conditional offer.
This was 9 employees without masks. I think the prosecutor have already taken the long history into account, and so I'm going to accept 2,000.
Commissioner Ford,
2,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item 109. It's 1226 Second Ave Realty Corp. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
This license was issued in 1986. I don't think I've ever seen a 4-digit serial number. Anyway, I will go down to 750 with no adverse history.
Commissioner Ford,
I mean,
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item 110 BKK Forest Hills Inc. This is a $1,500 conditional offer.
I accept 1,500.
Commissioner Ford,
accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 111 La Fleur Bakery Cafe Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 112, Lessings Restaurant Services, Inc. This is a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item, 113, Paninis R Us, Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item, 114, BLTG Pizza, Inc. It's a $1,500 conditional offer.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 115, CST New York LLC. This is a $6,500 conditional offer.
I wonder why last time we imposed only 1,000.
I had the same question.
Okay, because that was their first sale to minor within 5 years. The person who made the sale had taken the ATAP course before the sale. And under the statute, there's a penalty reduction to bond claim, a maximum bond claim, or in this case, they paid the civil penalty instead if the server, bartender, whoever had ATAP beforehand.
Got it. All right. Well, second sale to minor for 18-year-old under. Not looking very good, but I'll accept 6,500.
Commissioner Ford,
Accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item, 116. It's 1001 Nights Cafe and Dessert, Inc. The $1,500 civil penalty.
1,500 accept.
Commissioner Ford,
1,500 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Accept.
Next item is 117 McCavin's Pub, Inc. It's a $1,500 civil penalty offer.
License since 1983 and no adverse history since 2014. I propose we go to 750.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll do 750 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
750.
Next item is 118 Mates Global Ltd. This is a reconsideration of a disapproval of an on-premises liquor license. Matters held over from the December 22 meeting.
I believe Commissioner Fan, you had questions regarding finances. I don't know whether they were answered or not.
Yeah, so
Yes.
this is a case where we had questions about the finances. We needed to confirm if we had bank account records. We did confirm that we do have bank account records on file. However, in my opinion, the bank statements in finances are not sufficient enough to support the amount disclosed on the financial disclosure. I'd say we have about half at best. So I think there was a question of around $80,000. I would say we have support for about 30 to 40,000 of that based on the bank statements we have in our records. So in conjunction with that, and I think some of the other questions we had about the agreements and the terms of the sale for the previous principals that were disclosed in their prior application, I leave that decision to the commissioners.
So the statement that was made by the applicant was that the other two principals who he has now bought out did not invest in the project, that they were paid for their sweat equity. How does that compare to the financials that we have? I don't understand. So that they said that they needed 80,000 to operate, and they only showed that they had 40. Is that the point, Adam?
That's correct.
Right, but then the extra 20 and 20 were the in-kind that he's going to be paying back, right? Does that add up?
Well, it may add up in dollars, but it doesn't add up to what he wrote in his letter.
I'm really trying here. I'm piecing it together for him.
I understand, and it looks like he made he seems to have made substantial investment in this business, although it doesn't seem to be. That's what the letter says. It doesn't seem to be reflected in what he's provided to license them.
No. All right, well. I mean, this applicant really has worked his way up from being a bar back to where he is now, so I want to be supportive of him. And with CB4 going through their vetting process and also supporting him, I'm going to treat this at the what the hell of the day. And I'm going to vote to approve against my better judgment with no dancing, no promoters, background music only, and the required soundproofing is agreed with the community board. Sunday to Wednesday, 1 a.m., Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m. Good luck. Please don't make me regret this.
And I'm going to follow suit. And for all the same what the hell reasons, I will vote to approve as well.
Sorry, Commissioner Ford with the same conditions of Commissioner Fan?
Yes, sir.
All right. Chairman Bradley?
Yeah, I'll approve with the same conditions as Commissioner Fan noted.
All right, the next item is 119. This is Commissary Ventures LLC. This is an application to change the method of operation. This was also held over from the December 22nd meeting.
Store 450 square feet, 542 retail. They are looking to change their method of operation from 85% wine and 15% spirits to basically unlimited, whatever they want. There are 2 protests and there are 2 employees at the store.
Yes, and the members now have a report on what happened at the meeting when the location was licensed. It was a compromise based on concerns of the board of the need for another liquor store in that neighborhood, and their claims at the time that they were going to do a high-end wine business. And that was the reason for the percentage, which was actually haggled over during that meeting.
I think I think Commissioner Kim was here then, and I think he actually suggested 10% spirits, and I think I talked him into 15%, which they agreed to. Okay, Tom.
All right, Commissioner Fan?
I wasn't here then, so I'm going to stick by my word. Last time I voted to go to 50-50, so I'll go to 50-50.
Commissioner Ford?
Pretty small store. I'll go with 50-50 as well.
Chairman Bradley?
I actually voted to approve this license at the time that it was approved, and this was put in place because the owner offered that. As Gary said, they wanted to be a wine store, a high-end wine store, and they weren't going to affect the other stores in the area. And we found public convenience and advantage only based on that representation. I don't see anything that's changed that would lead me to change that representation. You know, you pick a method of operation in an area, and if it doesn't work out, you don't get to change it in the liquor business, unfortunately. So I'm going to vote to deny.
All right, the next item is 120. We actually dealt with that at the December 24th, 2020 meeting. And the next item is 120A. Daniz Inc. This is a $10,000 conditional offer. The license was summarily suspended back on October 2nd.
Yeah, this was a ticketed event that was a kind of an auto show, and they ended up having well over 50 people for the event, and significant overcrowding and the like, and we suspended it in October, so it has been suspended since October.
He submitted an affidavit along with his attorney, submitting a letter, and I have to be honest that the affidavit frustrated me to no end, because it's clear to me from reading the affidavit that he still does not get it. This guy had a car show in the middle of a pandemic in his parking lot, and over 100 people showed up, and his excuse is, well, I didn't invite them all. Many people came that were not invited. Yet the event organizer admitted that patrons and sponsors invited more people than they expected. The police show up, tell him to shut it down, and he doesn't. His only excuse is that he wasn't aware, that he did everything he could to minimize the risk. Yet, as Gary pointed out, there were over 100 people at this thing, and there were people drag racing up and down the street from reports that we were getting. So, I mean, I'll tell you how you cure this. You don't have the event during a pandemic. I mean, common sense would tell you, when you put 100 car or 50 cars into a parking lot, sports cars, that people are going to want to come and look at them, particularly in the age of social media. It boggles my mind.
I remember this place. They had picnic tables all around the place too, and parking all up and down the streets. This is in a residential neighborhood, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, that being said, I'm fine with the $10,000 fine, but when people are sitting here trying to settle these summary suspensions, making dumb excuses about how it happened is not the way to go about it.
And with that, we prepared to take the vote. Commissioner Fan?
Since this is not a hotel license, I'm going to counter at $10,000 with no promoters.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll do the same. I'll accept $10,000, no promoters.
Chairman Bradley?
So what we're countering, the counter is basically that they're not allowed to use promoters?
Right, or anything that says they can't do a private event in this way.
No
Okay.
event. No events. Not for now.
So we're going, is it no events or no promoted events?
No promoted events.
I take
They're already-
advice on that.
They're already not permitted to have events of more
Right.
than 50 under the executive order restrictions, or whatever the current number is based on the state of the pandemic. So I don't know that you need to put a condition on their license that they already have to adhere to as a matter of law. If the board members' concerns are that they will use having promoters as an excuse to break the law in the future and wants to restrict them, then I think that might be appropriate.
I guess what I'm saying is I don't think they should be allowed to have events up to 50 people, because there's obviously like a disconnect here. The police reports say 200 to 300 people were there. Multiple times in their sworn affidavit, they say that they only have, I don't know, 70 people. That's the maximum number they're willing to admit to, which
Which is still illegal, by the way, which is still illegal.
And I wouldn't, here's the thing, to be fair for the record, there was some inconsistency between the reports we got from the police. I don't know why a police officer would write down that they saw 200 to 300 people if they hadn't seen 200 to 300 people. But there seemed to have been several police officers on the scene during the day. It lasted a long time. For some reason, we didn't get pictures during the day of the crowd. We got pictures after everybody had dispersed, which seemed a little odd to me.
Yep.
So the record on exactly how many people was there is certainly a matter of dispute, although there's certainly evidence to support the higher end of that number.
They came back later before they actually did anything. Is that correct? The police were there earlier, but they didn't do anything.
It seemed like
He
they,
shot and then he talked them out of it.
yeah, I mean, I'd rather not speculate on the record as to exactly what happened because we haven't had a hearing.
Okay.
We've had some allegations, accusations, and we have some police reports. And, you know, if they wanted to have a hearing on the charges against them, they could have asked for one. They've made an offer to settle. I think the board agrees that the amount is probably consistent with similar conduct and the penalties on similar conduct in the past. With respect to addressing concerns about future events, I suppose the board, if it wanted to, could say, I don't know if we've ever put a condition on a license that they can hold no, do we put conditions on licenses that they can hold no events?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
do
can put
that.
any conditions the members want.
We can do that, yes.
Yeah, and I actually think that if the numbers were 200 to 300, this is a low number, the 10,000. You know, it's only 10,000 because we don't have the actual pictures. And so I'm still going to counter at 10,000 with no events.
Okay.
All right, so Commissioner Ford,
I'll go along with that as well.
all right, Chairman Bradley,
10,000, no private events.
well, no events or no private events?
No events. They're a restaurant, right?
Yes.
Yeah, then they can be a restaurant.
All right, the next item, 120B, Nick's Live Lobsters, Inc. This is a license that's been summarily suspended since December 20th. The offer is $5,000, and the licensee agreed to suspend all dining service in the area at issue until such time as indoor dining is resumed.
Yeah, and just for the record, for these cases, we have asked the licensees who are serving in these outdoor areas that are clearly violative of the Department of Health guidance to confirm their understanding of the law going forward so that there's no mistakes. But I'm not sure that we need to necessarily, and that will be in the record, their statement that they will not do that. But like other conditions, I don't think we need to include as part of the offer something that they're already obliged to do under the law. So it really is, I think, should be treated just as an offer for $5,000.
Commissioner Fan,
Accept 5,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 5,000.
Chairman Bradley.
5,000.
Next item, 120C, Living Room Restaurant and Lounge, Inc. This is a license that's been summarily suspended since December 20th. The offer is $6,000.
I'm going to go to 5,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll go to 5,000 as well.
Chairman Bradley.
5,000.
Next item, 120D, Astoria Positano LLC. This is a license been summarily suspended since December 27th. The offer is $15,000, and the same language that council was just referring to about the use of the area in question.
I'm gonna go to 1,000.
Commissioner Ford,
16 patrons in one structure, 12 in another.
For the record, Commissioner Ford, I believe that the reason that the offer was higher was reflective of the adverse history, generally the conduct.
I'd be willing to go down to 10,000.
Chairman Bradley,
10,000.
the next item is 120E, Peaceful Enterprise Corp. This license has been summarily suspended since December 27th. The offer is $5,000 and the language that council has already discussed with you.
I'm gonna accept 5,000.
Commissioner Ford,
5,000 accept.
Chairman Bradley.
Sorry, accept.
And next items, 120F, G, H, I, and J. This is a license that's been summarily suspended since September 26th. The offer is $40,000.
I just want to point out for this matter that it's shocking to me that the licensee in his letter actually knows that he's only allowed to have 50% of 79 people, which brings him to 39 people. However, the representative in his letter, in this form letter that we've received about 100 times now, the I'm so shocked that someone can get paid to really not understand what their client's situation really is and adjust the language accordingly. But with that, I'm going to accept $40,000.
Commissioner Ford,
I'll accept 40,000 as well.
Frustrating.
Chairman Bradley.
I'll accept 40.
All right, the next. I'm sorry, what's that?
Commissioner Fan. I said and agree with Commissioner Fan.
Right. The next items I have are a request for summary suspension. I'm going to suggest that at this point we take a brief recess. There's another item which we received during the meeting. I'll give you time to review that, and I can also get the prosecutors involved to join the meeting then. So it's 11:56 right now. Is like 12:10 enough time for you to review the new item?
Sure.
All right, so let's plan on coming back on the record at 12:10, and I'll advise the prosecutors accordingly. Bob, can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah, everything's good, Tom.
Mike?
Can.
Tammy, can you hear and see me all right?
Yes, I can.
All right. Just ask you to mute your lines until your item comes up. Bill, can you hear and see me okay?
Yes, I can, Tom.
Okay. I believe we're all set to go. I'm just going to wait another minute or two since we indicate we resume at 12:10. So if anybody is watching, not to have a snack or something, they're not going to miss anything. And the chairman's not back yet either, so I guess we need to wait for him.
Tom, I'm just going to confirm that the chairman is coming back. Chairman will be right in.
All right, so we'll resume the calendar. We have 7 items remaining. They are all requests from Council's office for emergency orders of summary suspension. The first item is 120K. It's Queens OP 1298838. Licensee is Seduction Restaurant Bar Corp.
Good afternoon, members of the authority. Michael Amarato from the Office of Counsel. And I submit the subject licensee to members of the authority to consider an emergency order of summary suspension pursuant to 401.3 of the State Administrative Procedure Act. The Seduction Restaurant Bar Corp. was issued their license on March 13, 2017. They're located at 173-12 Jamaica Avenue in Jamaica, New York. On January 2nd, 2021 at 8:40 p.m., the task force conducted an SLA inspection at the licensed premises. When they arrived at the premises, they observed an outdoor dining structure, which was made of plastic and wood, which was located in the street. One entrance to this structure was partially open for ingress and egress. No other openings, otherwise it was completely enclosed with a fixed roof, and that was made out of aluminum and wood, which was not opened at all. The investigators observed approximately 25 patrons inside the structure. They were eating and drinking. There was no social distancing, and the tables and chairs were not 6 feet apart. Also in the structure was a DJ who was playing music. The DJ had not been approved as part of their method of operation. When the investigators left this structure, they entered the restaurant and they observed 3 patrons sitting at the bar. Although they didn't see them actually consuming alcohol, there were shot glasses and beer bottles in front of them. When the investigators spoke to the licensee, the owner stated that if they open 2 sides of the structure outside in the street, they'll have to close their business because customers will not be willing to eat in an outdoor dining area. When the task force was leaving, they observed 2 men standing in front of the restaurant drinking beer. As far as adverse history in connection with this establishment, there's 1 case that's currently pending involving an executive order violation. A not guilty plea was received on September 8, 2020. And prior to that, there was 2 cases that were involving sale to minors. Both of those cases have been resolved. The structure in question is not in compliance with the New York State Liquor Authority guidelines for outdoor consumption. It has a fixed roof. It's fully enclosed with the exception of a narrow opening for ingress and egress. The tables and chairs were not 6 feet apart from each other. There was no social distancing inside the structure, as evidenced by the photos taken by the task force. And it did not provide an open area. These guidelines were put into place to help protect the patrons' employees from the deadly COVID-19 virus. The licensee has chosen to ignore these restrictions and continue with business as usual by allowing indoor dining at the risk of spreading COVID-19. The licensee made it painfully clear to the investigators that she was aware of what she was doing and she knew that it was wrong, but was willing to ignore the danger and put the public and her employees at imminent risk of harm. So therefore, counsel's office respectfully requests that the board summarily suspend this license pursuant to section 401.3 of SAPA. Thank you.
Commissioner Fan, any questions?
No, I don't have questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Chairman Bradley, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote of the members. First, Commissioner Fan.
Based on evidence submitted by counsel and also pictures submitted by the investigator, it's clear that this licensee knew what she was doing was wrong, and it's in violation of the governor's executive orders preventing the spread of COVID-19. This location is therefore an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare, and I vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford.
Based on evidence presented by counsel, including photos of this structure that's been constructed, I find them to be in violation of the governor's executive orders, and I vote to summarily suspend.
Chairman Bradley.
I vote to summarily suspend. It's clear this licensee has become a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare by not following the EO, their executive order obligations. So I vote to summarily suspend.
The next item I have is 120L, Queens OP 1286148. The licensee is Island Taste Restaurant and Lounge Corp.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Tammy O'Hara for counsel's office. We are requesting a emergency order for summary suspension based on an event that occurred on January 1st of 2020 at approximately 3:35 a.m. During a business inspection that was conducted by members of the police department, the officers were alerted to the fact that they believed that there was a party going on inside of the establishment. Although they could not see inside of the establishment, they can hear music emanating from inside, and officers were instructed to investigate. Once they arrived at the establishment, they observed that the door to the front of the establishment was locked, but they were able to gain entry from a back door. Upon entry, they were met by two people that were leaving. They did not have masks on. And once entering inside of the establishment, there were approximately 15 to 20 individuals inside, including 3 patrons that were sitting at a table, also without masks, and an additional 12 to 15 patrons that were in a lounge area. And it is important to note that at that lounge area was also the principal of the establishment, Claudia Leon. This licensee has been, was initially issued on September 11th of 2015 and is due to expire on June 30th of 2021. Initially, Ms. Leon did not respond to inquiries from the officers regarding who was in charge, where was the principal, or the owner. It was only after the officers started going over the violations that she made herself known. And at that point, she spun a story to the officers, stating that this was a party that was for her employees, that all of the drinks were free, there was nothing being sold. However, the officers were able to pull sales receipts that you can see that was in the package that was submitted. And it shows that there were alcoholic beverages that were being purchased during that time period. In addition, the officers did notice that there were various alcoholic beverages at the lounge area, which included the owner, principal, that were at various stages of consumption. There were empty to full bottles that shows continuous consumption. It is clear that this owner was trying to spin a tale and was fully aware of the fact that that the licensed premises was not supposed to be open at 3:35 a.m. So this was well past 10 a.m. That there was no one was supposed to be inside of the establishment, first off. And she continued to try to get out of the situation that she purposely put herself in by telling a false tale. In addition to this particular incident, the licensee also has two other current open matters. These are non-EO matters, including a failure to conform to your application, an illegal extension of the premises, unauthorized alterations, and also a sustained pattern of noise. That's one case. The second case involved pre-mixed beverages, violation of local regulations, not having a certificate of occupancy, not having assembly plans, and also violation of health regulations. It is clear that this licensee cannot be trusted to abide by the rules set in place not only by the SLA but by the governor, and that this licensee is a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Queens, and should be summarily suspended.
Yeah, thank you, Tammy. And just for the record, included in your materials are some what appear to be photographs. They're probably lifts from the body cam that the law enforcement officers were using at the time, particularly the ones on page 6 of 11 and 10 of 11, I think show the crowd that's inside and congregating together. Thank you.
All right, with that, Commissioner Fan, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Tom.
Commissioner Ford, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Chairman Bradley, any questions?
No, I have no question.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote. Please, Commissioner Fan?
Based on evidence presented by Council O'Hara and submitted by the investigator, this location is an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare. This licensee continues to allow indoor service and continues service past curfew, and I am voting to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford?
And I vote to summarily suspend for all the same reasons.
Chairman Bradley?
I vote to suspend. It's clear this licensee is not abiding by the governor's executive orders and has become a risk to the public health, safety, and welfare, so I vote to summarily suspend.
All right, the next item I have is
Thank you.
120M. I just ask if everybody could mute your lines, please. We get some feedback. 120M, Queens RW 1267526. Chapin Corp.
Good afternoon, Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Fan, and Commissioner Ford. William Brennan for Council's Office. I'm here today to ask the board summarily suspend this licensee for blatantly violating Executive Order 202.81, 202.41, and failing to supervise the licensed premises. The licensee, or Upon Corp., has been licensed since January of 2013. Premises is located at 21421 Jamaica Avenue, Queens Village, New York. On January 2nd, 2021, Investigator Clanton and Investigator Smith performed an inspection of the licensed premises. They observed a structure that was made of wood and plastic that was attached to the premises. This structure was fully enclosed and had a full roof. The structure had a door to provide entry and egress. The structure had a door and entry that was separate and apart from the entranceway to the licensed premises. When they entered the premises, the investigators observed at least 6 patrons drinking beer inside in the bar area. Some of them were standing and drinking, not socially distancing, and not wearing face coverings. They observed approximately 30 patrons in the enclosed attached structure, some standing, some sitting, many with beverages in their hands or in front of them. The investigators disclosed and asked to speak to the manager. One of the principals, Esquivel Neres, was at the premises. Mr. Neres initially advised the investigators that no one was drinking inside the premises. The investigators advised Mr. Neres that they had taken photographs of patrons' beverages in their hands, drinking inside the bar area. The investigators then exited the premises. It's clear from the report and the photos provided by the investigators that this licensee is operating in a fashion that doesn't comport with the current executive orders that are put in place to try to curb the current pandemic. The way in which this licensee is operating poses an immediate threat to the safety of their customers, the safety of their employees, and the community that surrounds the premises. Council's office respectfully requests that this board put an emergency order in place to suspend this licensee in order to protect the general public.
Commissioner Fan, any questions? You're muted, Commissioner Fan, sir.
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you, Bill.
Commissioner Ford, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Chairman Bradley, any questions?
I have no questions.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote of the members. First, Commissioner Fan.
Based on evidence presented by Council Brennan and also pictures submitted by the investigator showing a pretty worrying structure and also reports that there was a kerosene smell at the location. I find that this location is an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare, and I vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford, your vote, please.
Based on evidence presented by council, I vote to summarily suspend this license as well.
Chairman Bradley, your vote.
Based on council's presentation and this evidence submitted, I vote to summarily suspend. It's clear this licensee is a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare.
The next item I have is 120N. It's Queens RW 1248912, El Palo Restaurant NY Corp.
Good afternoon, members of the authority. Robert Buckley for Office of Counsel. The licensee for this item is located 19625 Jamaica Avenue, Jamaica, New York. It is a restaurant just having wine and beer privileges. The license was issued, there'll be actually 10 years tomorrow. It was issued January 7th, 2011. The only adverse history is a sale to intoxicated person from March 23rd, 2018, where the members imposed a $2,000 civil penalty. There's no prior EO warnings. As you can see from Investigator Clanton's report of this past Saturday, January 2nd, 2021, where she and another investigator visited the location on the 9 p.m. hour. When they looked inside, there was approximately 15 people sitting at tables inside. There was no food being observed with these alongside these people at the tables, but just beer being consumed. Upon entry, they were met by a person wearing a red dress. The woman apparently didn't speak English. Other employees did not speak English as well. It was only after about 15 minutes that investigator Clanton was able to encounter someone from the kitchen who did speak English and instructed that person to that no persons could consume alcohol beverages or dine in the location pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order 202.81. Since again, this location is within obviously the confines of New York City, that person did agree and had the premises cleared. Actually, the initial person in the red dress did speak English once he determined these people should leave. So it looks like the investigator encountered a person who chose not to understand initially. In any event, the Governor's Executive Order suspending dining privileges in New York City due to the COVID positivity rates and hospitalizations and deaths from the COVID virus is, as well as any sort of large gatherings. The governor articulated those reasons why indoor dining is suspended, and this licensee is in clear violation of the executive order. There is no indication that, assuming the principal and Arlen A. Duran Perez was present, but again, the nature of it is that clearly the licensee should have known that there's no gatherings indoors and on-premise locations. Just giving you the licensee the benefit of the doubt, it did seem to be most, if not all, persons were wearing face coverings, including employees, and food is being prepared in the kitchen. But again, as you can see from the report, from the tables, there was just people either drinking from individual bottles or from buckets of beer. But there's no food apparently being consumed at the time. But in any event, there's no indoor gatherings of this nature on on-premise locations, and Council's office submits this to the members for immediate order of summary suspension of its wine and beer license.
All right, Commissioner Fan, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Chairman Bradley, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote of the members. First, Commissioner Fan.
This location is an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare based on the evidence presented by council and also pictures submitted into evidence. I therefore vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford, your vote, please.
Based on evidence presented by council, I also vote to summarily suspend this license.
Chairman Bradley, your vote.
I vote to summarily suspend. It's clear this licensee, based on council's presentation, has become a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare.
All right, then the next item I have is 120O, Bronx AX 1294768. Licensee is Decatur Deli Food Corp.
Good afternoon, Robert Buckley for Council's office. The licensee in question is located at 365 East 193rd Street in the Bronx, obviously within New York City. This license is restricted to selling wine products and beer for off-premise consumption only, or what's known as an AX license. It was issued on September 7th, 2016. The licensee has had no prior warnings regarding EO violations or any adjudicated adverse history with the authority. On this past Saturday night, January 2nd, 2021, a joint SLA and NYPD COVID task force visited location from approximately 9:55 p.m. to 10:05 p.m. Investigator Stravali and police officers observed at least 15 persons crammed into the store, which is, from my review of the application and Investigator Stravali's report, seems to be a convenience store or a bodega type operation. But as the photographs and the narrative clearly indicates, numerous persons were consuming beer, most, if not all, not wearing face coverings or not wearing them properly. All the employees were not wearing face coverings. There was an employee, and Mr. Luis M. Garcia Vargas, who was cracking open bottles of beer, even apparently in the presence of the task force. And as you can clearly see in the photographs, persons were consuming beer, again, jam-packed into the product aisles of the store. On further inspection, there was in the rear of the premises, there were video game machines which were played by Detective Spataro. He inserted money and received additional plays. And on that basis, as well as the other activities inside the store, Mr. Garcia Vargas was arrested, as well as the inspection found there were apparently sort of apparent prescription drugs behind the counter, and as well as there was a bottle of whiskey with some additives in it, some tree bark, which is described as marijuana in the arrest report of Mr. Garcia Vargas. Eventually, Principal Jose Garcia appeared and secured the store. I believe I made an error in my email that Executive Order 202.81 was, by the way, that's only, this premises does not have indoor privileges, but the Executive Order 202.3, the initial Executive Order, should apply to this licensee, as well as the licensee under Section 54.5 of the Alcohol Beverage Control Law cannot allow on-premise consumption, as well as they violated other ABC law violations for having the video game machines and having prescription drugs. In any event, as a reading also of, or a review of the on Google Maps and Google Street View indicated that this location is within a residential area for the most part, apartment buildings. Didn't seem to be any other locations in the nearby of on-premise locations. So looks like this licensee took advantage of that and allowed all these people to cram into the store, having video machines, and again, not demanding that people at the very least wear face coverings. It's clearly the licensee has become a public hazard, and on that basis, the authority, assuming council's office has the authority to immediately suspend the retail off-premise beer privileges of this licensee.
Commissioner Fan, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Bradley, any questions?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote of the members. First, Commissioner Fan.
Based on evidence presented by Council Buckley and pictures submitted into evidence, it's clear that this location is an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare for various reasons, and I vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford, your vote, please.
Based on evidence presented by council, I find this licensee to be a threat to the public health, safety, and public welfare, so I vote to summarily suspend.
Chairman Bradley, your vote, please.
Based on council's presentation as well as the evidence that was submitted, I vote to summarily suspend. It's clear this licensee is a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare.
Next item I have is 120P, NASSR OP 1315546, Rancho Jubilee Rest Corp.
Good afternoon again. Michael Amarato from the Office of Counsel submits the subject licensee Rancho Jubilee Restaurant, doing business as Jubilee Latin Kitchen Bar, to members of the authority to consider an emergency order of suspension pursuant to Section 401.3 of SAPA. The restaurant is located at 1 Sunrise Highway in a shopping mall in Massapequa, New York. The license was issued on June 17th, 2019 to operate as a restaurant with live music, DJ, and recorded music. The manager on file is Jafet Tavares. And on December 31st, 2020 at 10:20 p.m., that's after curfew, Sergeant Turner from the Nassau County Police Department observed a large crowd dining and having a New Year's Eve party inside the licensed premises after the 10 p.m. curfew. When the police entered the premises, they observed people still eating and drinking and a live band performing. They proceeded to conduct a head count, and they counted 55 patrons inside the premises. Approximately 15 patrons were standing by the bar unmasked. Some of the employees were unmasked, and there were unmasked children running around the restaurant. The manager at the time was Pedro Reyes, and he was immediately told to close the licensed premises, and all the patrons were escorted from the premises. The band was told to stop playing and to remove their audio equipment and vacate the premises. The licensee is being charged with allegedly being in violation of 202.74, 202.41, 202.16, 202.45, and 202.3, and failure to supervise. Now, this was not the first time that Mr. Pedro Reyes, the manager at the premises, was told and warned that he was operating the business in violation of the governor's executive orders. In addition to the instant matter, the licensee has had 2 prior executive order cases lodged against him and are currently pending. And in addition to the 2 executive order cases pending, there are 5 other cases that are pending as well. The executive order case that's pending pertaining to a December 11th inspection, which entails the Nassau County PD was on patrol. And again, at 10:20 p.m., Sergeant Turner observed a large crowd, approximately 15 people inside. Some were seated and some were standing inside the location. So the sergeant called for backup, and they returned at 10:45, and it was still open with patrons dining and drinking inside. When the police entered the premises, approximately 15 patrons came running out past the officers to exit the premises. And the police encountered the manager again, Mr. Pedro Reyes, and he was given a warning regarding the executive orders. In that case, the licensee was charged with operating after curfew, again, a 202.74, 202.41, and a failure to supervise. Now, in addition to the manager being told on the date of that inspection, the notice of pleading was served and is currently in transit. We have not received a plea yet in connection with that matter. The EO violation prior to that occurred on October 10th, and that was at 12:25 a.m. The task force conducted an inspection along with investigator Stravali. And Stravali observed through the rear glass emergency doors one male employee standing near the counter not properly wearing a facial covering, leaving his nose exposed. 4 patrons were exiting the premises. They were not wearing facial masks. Another 4 patrons were seated at a table inside. And when they stood up, they too were not wearing facial masks at all. Kitchen staffs were not wearing facial masks. And 1 female employee at the bar was not wearing a facial mask. Investigator Stravali at that time, in October 10th, issued a cease and desist letter, and that was issued to, once again, the manager, Pedro Reyes. That notice of pleading was charged with 10 charges, 2 executive order violations, ABCL violations, and life and safety issues with a total of 10 charges. That matter has not yet, we have not received a plea on that. A plea was due on November 12, 2020. I checked yesterday with the United States Post Office Service, and the pleading was actually delivered on October 21st, 2020. Now, in addition to the EO violations, as I said earlier, there are 5 open matters involving ABCL and life and fire and life safety issue cases. In addition to the ABCL violations, they also include allegations of availing that occurred on December 11, 2019. Now, the manager, Pedro Reyes, was warned about being in violation of the governor's executive orders on at least 2 prior occasions, namely December 11th and October 10th, by both the Nassau County Police Department and the task force. So clearly the licensee and her employees have total disregard for the governor's executive orders. And if the license is not summarily suspended, the licensee will continue to pose an imminent risk of harm to the health, safety, and welfare of the public and their employees. So in light of that, the council's office summarily, respectfully requests that this license be summarily suspended. Thank you.
Commissioner Fan, any questions?
Mike, I have a question. So when was this license issued?
The license was issued on June 17th, 2019.
Jeez. And they have 5 cases before the EO cases.
5 cases before the EO cases, correct.
Okay. The report didn't have a number on it, but do you have a sense of what size the crowd was at the New Year's Eve party?
The 55. There was a head count of 55 patrons.
55 people. And how many?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, that was, I learned that information after speaking with Sergeant Turner.
Okay. And how many are actually allowable?
The premises holds, the occupancy level is 325.
So they're in violation because they are 5 over 50? Is that?
If this was a New Year's Eve party for one particular family or friends, they are limited to 50 persons pursuant to 202.45.
Is live music allowed in their method of operation?
Yes, they are permitted to have live bands, DJ, and recorded music.
But the evidence is that there were the patrons were standing and Children were running around with no masks.
Yes. After speaking with the police officers, I learned that there were approximately 15 patrons standing by the bar without wearing masks. Some of the employees, including the bartenders, were allegedly not wearing masks, and there were children running around the restaurant without masks.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford, any questions?
Children running around at what time? Like 11 o'clock?
This was
10
at 10:20. It was
10:20.
after the curfew.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Chairman Bradley, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote of the members. First, Commissioner Fan. Commissioner Fan, you're muted.
Sorry, I was voting. Based on evidence presented by counsel, it's clear that this licensee continues to violate the governor's executive orders preventing the spread of COVID-19, and by risking the lives of his patrons and his employees, this location has become an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare, and I vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford, your vote, please.
Yeah. I vote to summarily suspend this license for the same reasons.
Chairman Bradley.
I vote to summarily suspend based on council's presentation. It's clear that this licensee is a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare.
All right, the next item I have is 120Q. It's Queens OP 111-39696. The licensee is Sabor Latino Corp.
Good afternoon again, members of the board. William Brennan for counsel's office. I'm here today to ask that the board summarily suspend this licensee for blatantly violating EO 202.81 as well as EO 202.41 and failing to supervise the licensed premises. The licensee, Sabor Latino Corp., has been licensed since February of 2001. The premises is located at 9535 40th Road, Corona, New York. On December 18, 2020, Investigator Stravali performed an inspection of the licensed premises. He observed a fully encapsulated structure in the alley adjacent to the licensed premises. Stravali observed food being brought into the structure from inside the licensed premises. The structure was formed utilizing the 2 brick walls of the alleyway, a full roof, a rear made of wood, and a front wall made utilizing a sliding glass door. Inside the structure, there were 3 patrons sitting at 2 different tables. An employee was standing, talking with the patron with their mask pulled down around her chin. One of the patrons was sitting at a table with the beverage in front of him. The other 2 patrons were sitting at a table together, consuming beverages. On December 30th, 2020, Investigator Stravali returned with members of the SLA NYPD task force. Fully enclosed structure was still being utilized. Stravali observed 16 patrons inside that structure, some consuming beverages. One table was occupied by 7 patrons in violation of the orange zone restrictions that prohibit a table from seating more than 4 patrons. Additionally, several of the tables were less than 6 feet apart. A number of fire safety violations were noted, and the licensee was given a summons by Detective Reg Imbal of the NYPD. It's clear from Investigator Stravali's report and the pictures he provided that this licensee is not complying with the executive orders that are in place to help curb this current pandemic. The manner in which this licensee is conducting business poses an immediate threat to the patrons who go there and the community that surrounds it. Counsel's office respectfully requests that the board issue an emergency order suspending this licensee in order to protect the health and safety of the public. I would note that this licensee has a significant disciplinary history, although it's not EO related. They have a pending CNC, and they also, in 2018, had a fine imposed of $15,000 for various different violations, including focal point, occupancy issues, noise, unlicensed security guard, etc.
All right, Commissioner Fan, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Ford, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Chairman Bradley, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
All right, with that, I call for the vote of the members. First, Commissioner Fan.
This location is an imminent threat to public health, safety, and welfare. 2 walls with a roof does not make an outside space. And my vote to summarily suspend this license.
Commissioner Ford, your vote, please.
Based on evidence presented by counsel, I vote to summarily suspend this license as well.
And Chairman Bradley.
Based on council's presentation, I vote to summarily suspend. It's clear that this licensee is violating multiple executive orders that were put in place to protect the public health, safety, and welfare from COVID-19.
All right, with that, Chairman, I have no other items. Do you have anything else?
I don't. Thank you all.
All right, with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all.